Hi everybody, Jo here. How you doing? I hope you had a lovely weekend. Today, I thought I'd come in with a lovely vintage design that covers a few of things that people ask for, and quite a few of you have said you like the smaller designs. So this all starts on a B7. And I was looking through my stamps, and if you've not, had a look in a while, you'll come up with beauties like this, the Fern Heads. It's a long time since I've used this. And as well as the Fern Heads, there's two that are singles. So that's what I thought. I'm going to give them an airing because they've not been out to play for a while. And we're going to start with Fallen Leaves. And sometimes I think when you get stamps out that you've had for a while and you use them and you think, oh, I'd just forgotten how lovely this was. Now, I'm purposely putting this off centre. Just for me, I like to balance it a bit more. Because if I stamp in the centre, it has to be dead centre. Otherwise, it messes with my head. So, but again, I think that's just me. My funny head. But I like to tell you what I do and why. Now this, I think I can just follow that shape up there. They are beautiful and they're detailed. Do you know what? Can you see every little hair look on those stems? And don't ask me why, but when I was stamping this, it reminded me of Colin the Caterpillar. Is he called Colin? Was it Christopher? Whatever his name is. Now, do I put another one? I didn't on my original, but I am just because, you know what, feel a bit different. Glitter pods next. And I'm using the small one. There's 3 on this set, but I love the way you can just shape it. Now, I'm going to change my ink with pine cone. Now, I think we just want one there. And then I'm just going to straighten it a bit. So remember, you can alter to a certain extent the shape. So I'm just going to give mine a bit of a clean with a damp cloth and a dry cloth, just because I want to then twist the head that way. I think it just adds that extra bit of movement look. So this I can put there. And then let's just have a third. I think one would look nice just there. And I just think, okay, we've got 4. We're going to need another one, aren't we? We need an odd number 5. But look, there's a lovely space there. See, Tracy had no idea when she drew these all those years ago that space there would be perfect for a new stamp that she was going to make in the future. Now that is magic, isn't it? So I want to put my sentiment up there, and I've gone for the one because I'm going to use a couple of little bumblebees. Now, this little bee, we've got a fabulous set called Bumble Hums. Now, I did give it an anaesthetic before you ask. I've just cut one of them off because I just wanted one on its own. Now, this actually stamps really well as a group of 2, 4, 6. But if you want odd numbers, all I do is stamp this group and then I stamp the single one in the space where it was. So I haven't almost altered that design. I can still add and stamp the group, but I just find this little one on its own so useful. Now, with that pine cone, I'm going to stamp my Just Be up here. And then I'm going to put a couple of my little bees. And we'll have one just flying over this side. And I'm only stamping 2 just because of the balance. And one here. But because I've got a sentiment, almost that gives me my 3 and my triangle. So it's aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Now, just before I add my colour, what I've done on my Lavinia low tack tape, I've stamped the Just Be and I've cut out a square around it. And all I'm going to do is put that more or less. You can see through it so you can get it more or less on top. Now, you could just put your tape on and stamp the word after, but I'd just like to do it this way. But again, that's just an alternative for you. You know me, lots of different ways of doing things. Elements Now and Sundance. Again, blend in the lid. And I'm just going to come in at the base and just add some lovely Sundance. And I am going to go around my bees. Now, when I ink up, I always start at the base, look. And then as I've got less ink, I'm just going to go around those bees. And I just want to keep these lovely sort of golden brown tones. So a little bit more Sundance. And then I'm going to come in with Sahara. And Sahara's sort of, I call it sort of a muddy yellow. And it, for me, just blends beautifully from the yellow into the brown. So especially in this corner, look. But I'm blending in the lid. All my inks, blend in the lid. And when you're blending, just to remind you, it's a blending motion, look. Don't do this, because if you do this, what happens is the ink isn't even on the brush and you've got more chance of getting lines. And the other thing I've noticed, look, I very gently, you don't need to press hard on these ink pads, and it's everything sort of a gentle. If you're somebody who, you know, can be heavy-handed, and not being funny, you know who you are, you know I'm looking at you. Just try and be a bit more gentle, hold everything and think of tickling. And once you do that, and again, you've got this is a blending mat. So this is going to help you with your blending. And if you look, I'm just darkening, and anywhere I want that little bit of darker colour ready to add the brown. And so just take your time, and this is a really good way of helping you with your blending. Again, now truffle, so it's the brown. So I'll turn it round, blend in the lid, look, same thing, and just come in the corner. Now my truffle is well used, so I'm going to have to come in this corner a few times. But if yours is a new ink pad, it'll be very juicy. So make sure you blend in that lid and just be gentle when you first come in, just till you see how much ink you've got. And you'll get to know your ink pads then. Now, if you notice, I'm doing the corners but leaving this. I like that yellow. I want that sort of like a burst of yellow. So again, I'm moving round. And anywhere I want to just blend, look, what I tend to do, pop the lid on my ink so I know I'm not going to go in that ink anymore, but I'll still have some ink on here, and also I pick it up off my mat, look, and I can just use that ink. I don't want to waste it. And just blend it. So we'll give this a bit of a wet. And we'll just do some smooshing, because this will give me a nice background. Right, love that. That's going to dry fabulous. Put that over there. Now that could be in your journal, but again, that's going to give you a great background. And actually these stamps would look lovely on that. So when that's dry, I might put the honeycomb stencil, bit of ink through, and some bees. Yep, job done. See, I love the way you think. Pencils, modulars. And it's a nice little bit of colouring, but not too much. So again, just a little bit of blue in the wings. And then, because I'm never sure with my bumblebees, some are more yellow, some are more orange. So I do that thing of adding yellow and orange. And then I'm just going to blend that yellow over the orange. And that way I get a lovely colour tone. Now, your glitter pods, you could come in with a contrasting colour if you wanted. So you could come in with, I don't know, a blue. That would look fabulous, a lovely bright blue. But I'm just going to stick with the theme I've gone for here. And I want just that lovely cohesive design. The green, I know you're going to say, Jo, why have you got the green? And it's just for the stalks here, look. Just want to add that little bit. And again, it might not show up, but you know, if it wasn't there, I'd notice it wasn't there. And look at that. I mean, it's not difficult, doesn't take long, but I think you've got such a lovely design. Finishing tricks. White gel pen or Posca. I'm going for the mangaka. And I'm just going to add a couple of little white on the bees and then just on the heads. And as well as lines, I put little dots, look. So sometimes you might not want a solid line. So dots work really well. Last little bit, I want to add a little bit more stamping. And, you know, you can use single sentiments and make yourself a lovely background. So I've gone for Keep Smiling. I think that's just such a lovely sentiment. As always, I've put a little arrow, look, on the back of my stamp. And we're coming for Sand Dune or Sandra Dune. Now, as always, stamp it first on your copy of paper, just to check whether you need first or second generation. We're going to go for first because I don't think second would show up. And with this, I'm just going to randomly, so I want one here. And I'm just going to look at the design and decide where I could have a full sentiment and where I can have part of a sentiment. The important thing is to keep it level. Keep it parallel, so make sure, so I want another one down here, look. And then what I'm thinking up here, if I put one to this side, just coming off, so you don't get all of it, I think that'll look nice. And then to balance that, we'll have a little bit in this corner, and then just, and often look, just having an odd letter. So to balance that again, we need the K there. And it just makes it look like it's from a larger piece of work. Now again, that's a permanent ink. Give it a quick blot so it's not going to move, because next off I'm going to add some water splats for the faux bleaching. Now the little water splatters won't alter that ink at all. It's only my background ink, my Elements ink, that will do the faux bleaching. So I'm just adding a little. And with this, I don't want it to dry too white. I just want a little bit of mottling in the background. So I'm actually going to mop it up pretty quick. If you wanted it whiter, obviously you could leave it longer. And while that's still damp, you know me, yellow sparkly Posca. Again, this is a little bit to tap, and for me, I find it better to tap the pen. Recently at workshops, a few ladies have been doing this and really struggling, and it just makes all the difference. If you actually tap the pen here, please don't use a metal ruler. You could damage the pen, but also if you hit your finger, you'll hurt yourself. You don't need a lot, look, just gentle, just tap it there. And I can direct it. I'm holding it quite close, look, so I can direct those little beautiful yellow gold sparkly splatters all around my design. Now, if this is for somebody who doesn't like the splatters, again, you can leave them off. Now, we need to take the tape off. Now, it will just come off on its own, but if you run your heat tool just over the tape, what it does is it melts the glue behind. And look, if you just a little tip, just do that. Did you see that, how it popped up? So that will come off, and look at that. I love that. Fine liner pen. Now the Micron pens, we have black and we have brown. Now I've actually written on mine brown. The little end is a different colour, but when it's in your box or your pencil case, I find it easy to write on it as well. So I'm just going to lean on this, look, and I'm just going to do those lovely little wiggly lines round. Now, if you don't like your wiggly lines, don't add them. But it is nice because so many people have been using them, and it's nice to just do something a little bit different. And that's all there is to it. Quick wide put there because we want to keep it all nice and clean, don't we? But I think you could make so many alternatives for that. But I love this, look, the fact that it's flat, but it looks like you've stuck a white piece of card on there. And just with some white behind it, look, it really makes it pop. So I hope you've enjoyed that. and please pop back tomorrow. Got something exciting, but sorry, can't tell you anymore. Need to put low tack tape across my lips. Have a lovely evening. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.